Students, good morning everyone. So, in politics, or we can say in civics, we are going to see the chapter number second. The name of the chapter is Understanding Secularism. So, guys, the theme of secularism, when the name comes, it really very effect to Indian people or the Indian constitution, that gives you the understanding of secularism, like one person who belongs from Hindu caste system, and second person who belongs from Muslim religious, third person belongs from religious of Sikh, and the fourth from Isai or a Christian. Then our country sees or observes every person as Indian. So this is what the secularism is all about. Imagine yourself as a Hindu or Muslim living in a part of the United States of America where Christian fundamentalism is very powerful. So if you are a Indian Hindu Muslim and you are living in America, then just imagine that what type of things you will get from them. Suppose that despite being as US citizen, no one is willing to rent their house to you. So uh, being a non US citizen, no one give you the house for rent. How would this make you feel? Would it not make you feel resentful? What if you decided to complain against this discrimination and were told to go back to India? Would this not make you feel angry? Your anger could take two forms. First, you might react by saying that Christians should get the same treatment in place where Hindus and Muslims are in majority. This is a form of retaliation. Or you might take the view that there should be justice for all. So, guys, students, you think that these people who are in US, like Hindu and Muslims, they are treated as outsider. So when US people are here and here in India, if we treat them like outsider, what type of impact we release from our side to them? The simple way is that कि एक व्यक्ति जो हमारी कम्युनिटी का नहीं है उसे हम कहते हैं कि वो हमसे दूर रहे, या हम उसे रेंट पे हाउस नहीं देते हैं, तो दूसरी कंट्री वाला जब पर्सन हमारे पास आएगा तो हम भी उससे सेम व्यवहार करेंगे. क्या ऐसा करना चाहिए? ऐसा इंडियन हम ऐसा नहीं करते हैं, क्योंकि हम सेक्युलर हैं, धर्म निरपेक्ष हैं, धर्म में बिलीव नहीं करते हैं. सब लोग एक ही हैं उसमें बिलीव करते हैं. Or you might take the view that there should be justice for all. You may fight stating that no one should be discriminated against on grounds of their religious practices and beliefs. This statement rests on the assumption that all forms of domination related to religion should end. This is the essence of secularism. So यहाँ पे राइटर हमें ये सिखाते हैं कि हमें कुछ भी करने से पहले ये सोचना चाहिए कि हमें क्या नहीं करना चाहिए. वो ये है कि हमें ये सब चीज़ों से दूर रहना चाहिए, सेक्युलरिज्म बनना चाहिए. किसी को इस चीज़ से जज नहीं करना चाहिए कि वो हमारे कास्ट का नहीं है या वो हमारे रिलीजियस का नहीं है। History provides us with many examples of discrimination, exclusion and persecution, जिसमें जीव भी सारे हैं। Jews were persecuted in Hitler's Germany and how several millions were killed. However, the Jewish state of Israel treats its own Muslim and Christian minorities quite badly. In Saudi Arabia, non-Muslims are not allowed to build a temple, church, etc., and nor can they gather in a public place for prayers. So this is all secularism. So what is secularism? In the previous chapter, you read about how the Indian Constitution contains fundamental rights that protect us against state power as well as against the tyranny of the majority. The Indian Constitution allows individuals the freedom to live by their religious beliefs and practices as they interpret these. In keeping with this idea of religious freedom for all, India also adopted a strategy of separating the power of religion and the power of the state. Secularism refers to this separation of religious from the state. Why is the important to separate religion from the state? As discussed above, most important aspect of secularism is its separation of religion from state power. This is important for a country to function democratically. Almost all countries of the world will have more than one religious group living in them. So all the country in this whole world, state by state, they follow some different kind of religious, and which makes them a different people. That's why it is to be said that one cannot be a person if someone has belonged to another religious. Another reason that is the important to separate religious from the state in democratic societies is because we also need to protect the freedom of individuals to excite from their religion, embrace another religious, or have the freedom to interpret religious teachings differently. So these religious teaching, and in a democratic state and society, makes us feel like safe, but we need to understand that we are free to do everything, because there are types of untouchability. You know that in a 7th standard there is a chapter. So look, these three: temple, masjid, mandir or gurudwara, and one is church. So what is Indian secularism? The Indian constitution mandates that the Indian state to be secular. According to the constitution, only a secular state can realize its objectives to ensure the following. So what was the aspect of constitution? That one religious community does not dominate another, that some members do not dominate other member of the same religious community, that the state does not enforce any particular religion nor take away the religious freedom of individual. So this is to be said that If one person belonging or some society belongs from Muslim family, they cannot judge that the another family belongs from another types of things, Hindu. They think that it is not a religious community, and we cannot dominate it. If Hindu family thinks that they want to dominate Muslim family, then it is not possible. So this is what the secularism is all about. In government school, so here comes this what's going on in school. In a government school in Simapur, students want to celebrate a religious festival. Government high school, there is a big religious festival next month. We have never celebrated it in a school. Can we do it this year? I'm afraid that isn't possible, Rekha. This is a government school. We cannot give importance to any one religion. Private school maybe that do that. So look guys, this conversation gives you the clarification that still in teacher's mind something like this happens, like religious and all happens in this way. So how in this government school even occupied some kind of religious discrimination. The second way in which Indian secularism work to prevent the above domination is through a strategy of non-interference. This means that in order to respect the sentiments of all religious and not interferes with religious practices, the state makes certain expectation for particular religious community. So to respect each and every community's religious, one or the government didn't make any rules which protect Sikh dharma, Ishai dharma, or any other religious. So it is not protected, it is free that everyone can follow the particular rules and regulation of their life. In the above storyboard, Paramjit, the Sikh youth, does not have to wear a helmet. This is because the Indian state recognized that wearing a pagri, pagdi means turban, is central to Sikhs' religious practice, and in order not to interfere with this, allows an exception in the law. So one thing which is important that a Sikh person wear a pagdi turban, whereas Hindu not. In the above storyboard, Paramjit, the Sikh youth, does not have to wear a helmet. This is because the Indian state recognizes that wearing a pagdi is central to a Sikh's religious practice, and in order not to interfere with this, allows an exception in the law. The third way in which Indian secularism works to prevent the domination listed earlier in through a strategy of intervention. You read earlier in this chapter about untouchability. This is good example where member of same religious upper caste Hindus dominate other members, some lower caste within it, in order to prevent this religion based exclusion and discrimination of lower caste. So guys, in same religious, in Hindu, we can find the upper class and lower class. So in Hindus even this happens. So हम ये एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर सकते हैं कि ये चीज़ दूसरे लोगों के साथ भी हो। अगर हिंदू खुद ये चीज़ें करना चाहते हैं कि ये अपर क्लास से बिलोंग करता है, ये लोअर कास्ट से बिलोंग करता है, तो हम सब ये कैसे एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं कि कोई हम में से ये नहीं सोचेगा कि ये सिख है, ये मुस्लिम है, ये ईसाई है एंड ऑल, और ये मुस्लिम है। So the intervention of the state can also be in the form of support. The Indian Constitution grants the right to religious communities to set up their own schools and colleges. So Indian Constitution grants everywhere freedom. So in what way Indian secularism different from that of other democratic countries? Some of the above objectives are similar to those that have been included in a constitution of secularism democratic. So some things we took from the democratic US constitution. So US constitution uh, prohibits the legislature from making laws respecting an establishment of religion or that prohibit the free exercise of religion. What is meant by the word establishment is that the legislature cannot declare any religious as a official religious. सो दिस इज़ वेरी इम्पॉर्टेंट टास्क कि हम किसी भी रिलीजियस को ऑफिशियल रिलीजियस नहीं कह सकते हैं। हम ह्यूमन बीइंग को कह सकते हैं कि ह्यूमन बीइंग के लिए सब कुछ है, ना कि कोई रिलीजियस के लिए कुछ है। So there is one significant way in which Indian secularism differs from the dominant understanding of secularism as practiced in the United States of America. This is because unlike the strict separation between religion and the state in American secularism, in Indian secularism, the state can intervene in religious affairs. You have read about how the Indian constitution intervened in Hindu religious practices in order to abolish untouchability. So जब in Indian secularism, though the state is not strictly separate from religious, it does maintain a principal distance with as religious. This means that any interference in religion by the state has to be based on the ideals laid out in the constitution. These ideals serve as the standard through which we can judge whether the state is or is not behaving according to secular principle. The Indian state is secular and works in various ways to prevent religious domination. The Indian constitution guarantees fundamental rights. However, this is not to say that there is no violence in these rights in Indian society. So, guys, as you have seen this chapter, the religious not important at any cost. We people are important and we cannot discriminate one religious with the another religious. We cannot say this religious is big and that religious is small. We all are human being and we all are equal. So guys, this chapter teaches us that we people are equal and we cannot give such religious practices which is unnecessary to allow them to exist in our world. Thank you guys. Stay tuned with Esther Global School.